and welcome here to More Talk FCB. And no, today it's not actually Talk FCB news, although to be honest, the story that we're going to talk about, it actually could be, because we're going to be talking about Nico Williams. Now, the reason that I'm uploading this here is because I know a lot of people don't want to talk about that guy, a lot of people don't want to hear about Nico Williams, and I completely understand that. So that's why here, it's on the second channel, and I need to talk about something that's circulating in the media with regards to Javier Tebas, because we all remember during the height of the Nico Williams situation, all of the negotiations that were going on between Barca and his agent, all of that stuff. Now, during that time, remember Athletic Club made a big storm. They kicked up a big fuss there about Barca moving for their player, and they wanted to know Barca's financial situation. They went to La Liga. They wanted explanations. They wanted details. Now, what we do know is that legally, La Liga were not allowed to disclose anything that was not already public knowledge about Barca's financial situation. They were not allowed there to give very, very private details directly to another club, to Athletic Club. However, what we're hearing right now in the media, and again, these are only rumours, we do not know if it's true, we do not know if it's accurate, but we're just reporting here what's being said in the media, and that is that Javier Tebas did share confidential information about Barca's financial situation with Athletic Club. Now, it remains to be seen exactly what that information was. It could have been Barca's provisional financial end-of-year results. It could have been different reports there from the audit of the club. We don't know. But apparently, certain details were given to Athletic Club. And apparently from there, Athletic went straight to Nico Williams' agent, who of course actually represents so many Athletic Club players. So basically, Nico Williams' agent, he's almost like Athletic Club's agent in many ways there. So that's something that I could believe, that they went straight to him, told him what they found out, and then all of the nervousness began, all of the difficulties began in the negotiations, and apparently that all started because of what Javier Tebas disclosed to Athletic Club. Now, like I say, at this point we don't know if that's even true. This is simply a rumour, but could you buy that? Could you actually see that that is something that has happened there, that things have been said? And I think Barca, they've got to look into this. You know, they have to somehow find out exactly what happened, exactly what was passed on, because like I say, these are legal matters. These are things here that should not be being disclosed, not to anybody. Nothing that is not already public should be being disclosed there to Athletic. So we have to find out exactly what happened, because is it a coincidence that only sort of hours and days after Athletic went to La Liga, that suddenly things got complicated, that suddenly then Nico started getting cold feet? And like I said before, by the way, this is no excuse in my opinion. The whole registration issue here, it is a non-starter. You cannot start crying and panicking about registrations at the very beginning of July, the beginning of the transfer window. If you actually wanted to become a Barca player, you would have been a bit more patient. You would have actually tried to stick around and see what could be solved. So I don't think here this is an excuse anyway. But I think we do have to talk about this, and I think Barca do have to make sure that they look into this situation in full, that they find out exactly what went on, because we've had our issues with Tebas. You know, we've had problems here with La Liga, the friction between the two, it's very, very clear, and Laporta's got to act on this. Laporta has to be proactive here, lead by example, find out what on earth went on, because it wasn't a good look for the club. You know, the way we went after Nico, the way that we were deep in those negotiations, we waited so much time on that, all for it to just fall apart. That's not helpful. Not for us as a club, not for the message that sends out. So what we have to do here is find out what went wrong. But guys, let me know. Can you see this being true? Do you believe in what we're hearing right now in the media? And of course I will. I will keep you posted on what is happening and what's being said. But thank you indeed for tuning in. More on this as we get it. But until next time, as always, Vejka El Barça.